that one. All right, so welcome to the Soul Contract reading question and answer session. I'm Nicolas David Ngan of the Centre for Conscious Ascension. So I'm here to pretty much answer any questions you have about the work of the book, or help you understand a bit about your readings. So I'd like to find out, actually what we'll do is that we'll share this, I'll share the actual, better share the formal bit of the presentation for the guys who are watching cold. Here we go. Let's get this up here. Okay. Right, so I'll just show the little slide here. So basically we're here to take you into any burning questions you have about the book and the spiritual philosophy around it. And the book's been a bestseller for 10 years. It's been doing really well. It hit #1 on Amazon again in June of last year, and it did when it first came out in 2013. So it's a real evergreen, according to my publisher. So what we're going to do today is find out how to go deeper into the powerful truth of this work, so you can help transform your life and the life of others. So I'm here to basically raise human consciousness. That's why I'm here. I was born to do this, and I've been doing this work for 34 years now. 27 years of that full time. I'm based outside London, England. I'm from New Zealand originally. And I had my first soul contract reading from Frank Harper, the founder of this, back in 1990, and as I was beginning to wake up spiritually, and it completely changed my life. He explained all the disparate experiences I've been having, and it put them into context, and it enabled me to completely focus on what was important in my life, to especially my karmic patterns, so I could overcome them and transmute them into my gifts of service. And after that reading, I said to Frank, he channeled this work through in the 80s. I was in Phoenix, Arizona, his carousel growth training. And I asked him, well, how can I learn this? This is so amazing. And he said, well, we're teaching this in a level 2 workshop he was running called Carousel of Growth about 6 weeks later. So I stayed on in America, went to that workshop, was completely transfixed by this work. And I brought it to England in 1990 and have been developing it ever since. And we, taught the first training in this in 1994, and it's just started to propagate from there. And pretty much all the English-speaking teachers out there in the European sphere originally come from us. But some have trained other teachers as well. So this is how this whole thing started. So I'd like to find out what you guys need from this, why you are here, where you are, what brought you here. Okay, can't see you, Murray. What's happened? Lost the video. And what you need from this. Okay, so and then we can focus the webinar around what you need. Okay, so it's very much dependent on you, really, how this goes. So make the most of it. So who wants to go first?
I can go.
Karishma. So just where are you in the world?
I am in Australia.
Yep.
So I know a little bit about Star of David, and I know a bit about I have I have got the screenshot of that after writing my name, that calculator. I have got the screenshot of my own reading. I know a little bit about it, but I am always open to learn more about why am I here in this earth, why I have taken birth, what I am here to fulfill, my life purpose, etc.
Okay. Thank you. All right, Murray, where are you in the world?
I'm in Ireland.
Okay.
And the Southwest. And I have had my chart done a number of years ago, and I found it really helpful.
Yeah.
And I'm starting a new path, and I was looking to change my name. So I went back and I had my name changed. So I guess I was just looking to come.
Oh, you froze there. Can you say that last bit again? It froze.
Yeah, so I was hoping to come on and see how that might work, and just maybe a few questions around the name change and about how to best use it.
Okay. So who changed your name? Who did that?
Well, no, I mean, nobody, I chose it myself. So it was just simply dropping a letter from my name
Okay.
and just the impact of that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we call that process name optimization when we do it formally with the work, but we can get into that to see, is it optimal for you? Is it going to take you to where you want to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
get into all that. Okay. All right. That's interesting. And Karishma, we can talk a bit about what your chart's about as well, because there's plenty of time for that. Let me just see if anyone else has turned up here. Okay. Righty. So, and feel free, ladies, to ask any questions you like. Don't hold back, because it's very hard to get my time. So make the most of it. Okay. All right. Because I mainly teach, you see. So, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about, for people who are coming to this work first time, I'm going to talk about how it basically works. But then we'll get into answering your questions. Okay. So you probably know how. So have you guys read the book Your Soul Contract Decoded?
Yes. Yeah.
You read it. Okay. Karishma, have you read it?
I haven't.
Okay. All right. So let's have a look. Okay. So Karishma, how did you find out about the work then? Just out of interest.
I do follow another coach who does similar things, and I found out through her. I found out about the Star of David and my chart. And after getting a short reading from her, I wanted to research more. And eventually I found you. I haven't read the book, but I have been following you for a while.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So the core principle of this work is that our karma contains our spiritual gift of service. And that's sort of the last thing we think would happen. So here's how it works. Our souls basically review all our past lifetimes, and then they look at the common themes that it's been exploring. And each time our soul embodies, it creates a brand new personality expression, like our avatar, an emotional, physical, mental avatar. And its whole life is created by the sounds of the birth name. So, and we learn from that. And so the soul reviews the learning of what's been happening through time, through its different incarnations, and then it designs us, our current avatar. So think of it as our earth suit that we're sitting in. And so our current soul contract, which is running from our birth name, is the next step we are taking to increase the amount of unconditional love in the soul, because we chose to leave Source, leave Mother, Father, God, and come into a body to see if we could grow in consciousness and eventually get back to Mother, Father, God, because we're all sparks of the divine and having a human experience. We are the creator creating through the process of our life. It's not some entitled old white guy sitting in a big throne up in the heavens. We are the creator creating. That's the purpose of life. So we need to go to sleep. So we forget that's where we come from. So we wake up, and the grand experiment on Earth, this is called an ascension process of getting as separate from God as possible, and then waking up is to see, can we get back in consciousness to God? And we're speaking of that in a spiritual sense here, not a religious sense. So what initially happens in our lives is our contract sends energy out to the matrix. And by the law of attraction, are you guys familiar with the law of attraction?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. it will rearrange around our soul contract programs, which are sitting in our DNA, in our energy fields, and in a substance called karmic matrix. And they're rearranging around that. As you've noticed, there have been repeating patterns in your lives. Okay, that comes from that. And so initially, we create, through the law of opposites, this is the one you weren't told about, all the stuff we don't like. Does that sound familiar? You get some very big challenges when we're younger. Okay, may still be even having them now. And the idea is to turn our feeling consciousness into those challenges, and then to feel all the aspects of those karmic challenges, then transmute them into our gifts of service. So our biggest challenges are our biggest trainer, especially, let's say, our families, for example, and our relationships. And if we choose to turn towards our karma and claim our gifts of service, then what happens is that we bring them online and our life becomes more fulfilling and the soul gets to carry out what it came for. And most people turn away from their karmic patterns because it's too painful. The ego doesn't like pain, so they get stuck. Okay, that's why people who aren't doing that tend to wear out in life. They look pretty worn out by the time they hit their middle age. But light workers who are doing their work to a greater or lesser degree tend to look younger, more vibrant, have a more fulfilling life. All right. So this work, the soul contract reading work, is about how do you claim your gift of service? How do you manifest your life purpose? So about 2% of the people on Earth, 2 or 3%, are like us. They're light workers. And our job is to share this work, share consciousness broadly, but in sharing this work, if you're drawn to it, that helps you become the answer that helps other light workers to wake up, to find out what their gift of service is. How many of you guys felt that this, when you were very young, there's something special I'm here to do and I can't quite put my finger on it? Did you guys feel that?
I have.
Yeah. I felt that from a very young age, and no one could tell me what it was. I looked at school, I looked at my family and university and jobs. No one seemed to know what was going on. They were just sort of going through the motions, like they were on remote control. Because I was searching for my true path in life. There's a very deep drive in my soul. And so if you're drawn to learn this work, to train as a soul contract reader, it can help others, especially light workers, decode the secrets of the blueprint of their life, help spiritual seekers or light workers find that which is hidden in the sounds of their name, which creates a reality in each moment. And then that spiritual map of life, that answer, or where am I meant to go? So I didn't get that till 1990, will help them overcome their karma, which is what I've been doing for 30 odd years, express more of their talents, achieve their goals, and manifest their soul life purpose. Okay, so life is much more fulfilling. Get in alignment, because I'll show you another picture with my picture here. It's a very important picture. So what happens in life for most people is that because the ego's put them to sleep, is that the little ego here thinks it's in charge. It thinks it's more powerful than God. And it creates everyone to be on the path of suffering because the mind is in control. On this dotted line. So life's very unfulfilling because it's not in alignment with the flow of spirit. And the purpose of this work is to expand consciousness into the vastness of spirit, which has a much bigger top-down view of life. Okay. And so what happens then is that we start to move towards converging on the spiritual signature. And that's the dark line here, where in each moment, with each breath and each step, as our heart opens to the next right action. And if we follow the spiritual signature, life is more the path of bliss. It's where we're converging on that here. And as we converge on it, things just turn up. Good stuff happens. Good connections are made. Our personal and professional life really flows because the soul contract is basically aligning, helping us align to the spiritual map of life. So the first thing is to understand, well, what is that path, and how do I get there? Which is what this work is all about. Okay, sound like a good idea?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's explain how this works. Let me get up to, gotta get to the right. Yeah, I'll explain how the Star of David works here. So, how do we find out from the sounds of your name how this works? Okay, so we have a string of frequencies, which is your name. Okay, this could be Karishma's name. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'll explain this, is a string of frequencies in the name, which we decode on the Star of David. So we're basically matching Hebrew sounds to the sound of your name, Karishma or Murray or anyone else. And then in Hebrew, there's 22 letters, ancient Hebrew. We match those to the sounds of your birth certificate name. And then within those letters, there are numbers inherent within them. And we decode them on the Star of David. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to, we'll actually decode that name. Let me find it. And go to this. Just going to pull software over. So this is the online software we have for working out the names. It's called soulcontractreader.com. You want to analyze your own name or others' names, it's here. soulcontractreader.com. It's free. You can analyze 4 names for free. Then there's a small charge after that. And you can use the book, Your Soul Contract Decoded, to work out what it means, but we're going to do it manually for you. So Karishma, current name is that as it is on Zoom for you?
Yes.
Karishma. I'm not feeling, just want to check. And no one else is coming, it's okay. All right, and what's your birth name? Is that still the birth name or is there a middle name there?
No, it's the same birth name.
Okay. We won't put your birthday in because it's a public video. What star sign are you?
I am Cancer.
Okay. All right. And you're okay for me to talk about analyze your name? Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So we got to put that in there for the system. Right. So we go okay. We choose the chart labels, which is current talents and goals. We go okay. Right. So we're going to analyze your name now on the software rather than doing it by hand. It's much faster. We'll explain how this works. Okay. So what we've got here is that I'll also get my pen out here. Is that we take your name in Murray, can you just go on mute because we're getting the sound of the things moving around until just switch it on when you're talking, thanks. What we've got here is your name, and I had a different pen there, which was quite good. Let me just find it. I think it was this one. No, maybe it was that one. Vanishing pen. A vanishing pen will work better, I think, because I'm going to draw a lot of stuff on this. What happens is that we take your name here and we convert it into Hebrew sounds here. And you can see that some of the sounds like this are 2 sounds match 2 separate letters in English. And so the software decodes your name into Hebrew sounds, and these Hebrew numbers drop out of it. And then we analyze them on the Star of David here. So the way the Star of David works is that to come into the earth plane, you've got to enter a gateway of consciousness. Yeah. And this is formed by the Star of David. And there's two aspects of it. We have a downward pointing physical triangle, and this represents the physical side of life. It's about forming your personality, getting grounded, relationships, education, growing up, career, buying houses, setting up your community. And you spend the first 5 cycles of 7 years doing that minimum. So how old are you now, Karishma?
I am 39.
Okay, so between the ages of 35 and 42, which is where you are now, which is why you're here, we have a 6th cycle, and that's where we make the transition to spending more time in the spiritual triangle, which is running at the same time, but just it becomes more emphasized. So we're making a transition to the spiritual life. So when did you first wake up, Karishma?
Pardon?
When did your spiritual awakening happen? When did you start to become very aware there was much more to it than the physical life you had?
2017.
Okay. So that's 7 years ago. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
32. So you were in the beginning of the 5th cycle. You were getting into it. And did your life completely change over that time?
Yes.
Yeah, what happened?
I lost my job and I started a complete new career, which I never thought I would ever do.
Yeah. Okay. And what was that? Is that what you're doing now?
Yes.
Yeah. And what were you doing previously?
I was working in a hotel.
Yeah.
And at that time, my aim was to climb the corporate ladder and get into a higher position in the hotel industry slowly.
Yeah.
And one day I end up losing my job and I realized I really didn't like working there. I don't want to continue working in the hotel industry, and I end up choosing a career which I have never thought I would ever do.
Yeah. And how are you now? Are you enjoying that much more?
Yes.
Okay, good. So within these 2 big triangles, these 3 aspects, okay, there's physical karma, physical talents, and physical goals. And physical karma is a set of unresolved past life issues the soul brings in to create the negative context of your life, to create all the things you don't like. All right. So you get clear what you do want. All right. And in physical talents, they are latent, and what these do is that they activate to actually overcome the physical karmic issues if it's a good match. And if it's a good match, it gets through it a lot more quickly than if it's not a good match. And this physical karmic energy, this becomes positive gifts, the gifts of service, the last place you would look. Okay, so the idea is to bring consciousness to it, as I said a bit earlier. Then life starts to happen. And as your talents get stronger, that helps you move to the physical goals. This is what gets you out of bed in the morning. This is what excites you. Okay. So energy moves from physical karma to physical talents to physical goals. In the physical chart, and then in the spiritual one, spiritual karma to spiritual talents, spiritual goals, but a much more spiritual orientation. So the spiritual karmic energies are how you open up to high consciousness, to embody the spiritual gifts of service. And if you consciously work on all these 6 outer aspects here, over time, just time this way, and I'm going to choose a different pen for that, so it lasts. Over time, and this is percentage complete, if you know your soul contract and you consciously work on your issues, all these 6 outer aspect issues, and then eventually are worked through, it takes a whole lifetime. If you do it in a whole lifetime, you're doing really well. What'll happen is that you'll have a much more fulfilling life. And then what happens is that they contribute to the manifestation of your soul destiny or your life purpose. And this comes slowly in layers. So the life soul destiny is revealed in layers, and layers that we at a conscious personality can handle. Like, I had no idea I was going to write a best-selling book, but in 2011, my guide said to me, it's time to write the book about this work, because Frank Alpha, he started a book, but he never finished it. So we have a long history at a soul level of coming together. So he was actually helping me write that book. He was chatting in my ear. So, and the universe provided all these opportunities, like a publisher consultant who introduced me to my publisher, and they said within 3 days of receiving it, well, it took them 3 days to get the manuscript, and then they rang me immediately, said, okay, we want to publish this. We love this. So what happens is that you reach certain thresholds in life where you've done enough work on the outer aspects. That's why consciously work on yourself is really important. Then all these hidden gifts start and pathways start to open up. And I was thinking, if I can just pay you back the advance they give you an advance on the royalty payments you get over time to buy the rights to publish the book. If I could pay them back their advance, I'll be happy. And people said to me, oh, you'd be lucky to sell 1,000 books. That's pretty good for a first-time spiritual book. And so that did a lot better. I think we've sold about 25,000 books, which is very good for a very specialist spiritual book. So I don't know the exact number at the moment. I have to see, look at the look what they tell me from the publishers. So basically, a whole layer of life unfolds, things you didn't know about. Once you hit certain thresholds, so that's why it's very important to work on these outer aspects consciously, because once you've cleared enough of the outer aspects, then you're ready for the next phase. Like, have you felt like you had to work so hard on a lot of the issues and it seems to take forever, you guys? Has that happened?
Yes.
Yeah, but
Yes.
then you suddenly make a breakthrough. Suddenly you're in a different space because you've done enough of that work, and the soul says, okay, I got that lesson. Let's do the next thing. The next thing comes, and sometimes it's unimaginable. How did that happen? Then you're into a new space and you're moving to another level. So, but you could only do that if you'd done enough previous work. If you got to that level too soon, you'd say, oh, I'm not worthy of doing that. I can't handle that. But when the new level comes, it's like a surprise almost. It's like, oh, that's happening now. I'm ready. I worked so hard to get here. But yeah, I'm ready for that. I can do this now. I can cope. And if it was put to us, say 5 years previously, we're thinking, no way could I handle that scale of what's being asked of me by the universe. So it's very much about following your soul contract in the moment, in each moment, so that you can actually make the most of the learning and just keep at it. Because it's the fastest way to get back to God, basically. And it's a more fulfilling life. How's all that sound, guys? Making sense?
Sounds accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. So, right. Okay. Just want to do something here. Just going to pause the recording. Okay, let's keep going. So, what we do, I know someone else is here. Gabriel's here. Okay. Hi, Gabriel. Just let you in. If you want to come and you can talk now, but if you want to join us on the video, just say yes.
Hello, thank you so much. Good to see you.
Yeah, just say yes to being a panelist, and we can see you as well. It's a small, well-formed group, so you can be part of the conversation. Yeah, and let's have a look here.
Okay, I'm back.
Yep. If you want to join us on the video, you can switch it on. We're just having a bit of a conversation here. There you go. Nice to see you this time.
Hi, everyone. Sorry for being late. I don't know.
Yeah. So we'll just introduce yourself, Gabriel. Where are you and what brought you here? What do you need from this? Sounds like you're
So
from Australia.
I live in Australia. I did with you, Nicolas, the Divine Healing Master Key Level 1
Yep.
back in 2015.
Yep.
And I'm only just starting to get to the point in my life where I'm wanting to start to put that into action. And start to share that gift. And so I'm always interested in, I mean, your courses are absolutely amazing. So I've always been interested in more, and just lo and behold, I'd already registered for this, but as I was looking for another email, it said it was on right now, which is amazing for me because normally with the UK timing and my timing never works out. So this is great.
Yeah. What time is it then?
7:50 p.m.
Very civilized for you. I do these in the morning for you guys out in Australia and Asia, you see. So
Yeah. What time is it for you?
it's nearly 10 o'clock in the morning. So
Okay. Yep. See, good timing for all.
yeah. So what would you like from this? What's your intention for this webinar? Because we're in the middle of Karishma's demonstrating her name, but just throw your intention into the energy and we can sort of flow with that. What do you need from this, Gabrielle?
I want to know basically just a lot more about the soul contract reading because it seems to be a very fundamental part of the divine healing.
Yeah.
So it's literally just a monetary thing that has stopped me from studying it so far. So even just to learn anything more about it is amazing. So thank you for making this free webinar.
Okay. All right. So I'll just summarize what we've done. Basically, how much do you know about the soul contract reading work? So I know that your baseline of information. Have you read the book?
No. Basically nothing except for what I can spiritually intuit. That's about it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's worth having a look at the book, Your Soul Contract Decoded. That'll give you the detail, but I'll summarize what we've
Yes,
done so
please.
far
Yep.
to get to this point.
Okay.
Basically,
Yeah,
we've
sorry.
taken.
Sorry for coming in late.
Oh, well, it's great. Great you could come. It's more interesting with 3 or 4 of us. So basically, we've taken Karishma's name and we've
Mhm.
converted it to ancient Hebrew sounds, these 22 of them. You've taken these
Okay.
letters that are inherent within the Hebrew letters, and we're going
Okay.
to decode them on the Star of David. Okay.
How did you make them into the Hebrew letters? Sorry.
The software, there's a correlation between the English letters
Ah,
and the Hebrew. And so the
okay.
software works it out. There's a one-to-one correlation. These 22 Hebrew letters will actually match up to 26 English letters. Some of them are used multiple times for different letters.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So these numbers are Hebrew frequencies, which we're decoding on the Star of David to figure out what's going on for Karishma. Okay. And there's a physical part of the chart and a spiritual part of the chart.
Mm-hmm.
And there are 3 aspects. There's karma, talents, and goals in each one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And karma is a set of unresolved past life experiences which we overcome with our talents to become our gifts of service. Goals are what we want to achieve in life. And this is both in the physical and the spiritual. And the sum total of all these guys produces a soul destiny, which emerges over time. Okay. As we
Because
work.
this is what I'm wondering with the contract and the destiny. Is it something that's pre-written, or is it something that you can choose different pathways or dimensions to come up with different results? Or
Well, it's a general, it's latent potential. Okay.
okay.
And
Okay.
it's not fixed in stone. It's a general direction you're heading in the 7 aspects. But how you live it out, how you work it through is entirely your free will choice. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
You can choose
Beautiful.
not to do anything, but then what will happen, you just come back and do it again. Or you
Yes.
can choose what feels right, or the way life comes at, manifests around you to work it out. And so there's free will choice in terms of how you work out a specific karmic issue or bring a talent online. Okay. But in understanding the spiritual map of life, it means we can stop doing the things which aren't working and focus on the things which we know we're meant to do. So we move from spending 80% of our time on things that don't work, which most people do, have this, to 80% of our time on 20% of things that really matter. then life
Yep, yep.
progresses. That's sort of a summary of what we're doing. Okay,
It's so interesting that in my mind just then it like answers my own question. I was like, well, what if you want to change your destiny? It's like, you don't. That's God's destiny. Why would you want to change that?
well, you can to a degree. We're going to look at. I have to turn my phone down. No, you guys are here. Hang on. So you can change your name, which is what Marie's done. Marie's in Ireland. Karishma's also in Australia. And you can then reprogram your life. But it's going to be based on the original birth certificate name that creates the baseline foundation of your life, but you can change the direction quite radically with the correct optimal name. So no, you can change it. But it doesn't
I'm
mean
just
you.
wondering with you, Nicholas, because I'm assuming your name hasn't been changed, right?
No, mine's been changed. Mine was Nicolas
Oh, you
Ngan,
have?
and I optimized it in 2006 to Nicholas David Ngan. And that's how my
Okay,
life radically changed from a struggling alternative therapist in London, barely making a living, to having a global teaching business now.
Wow.
That's taken 18 years, but it did do the job.
That's another thing I want to look into, obviously, is the frequency of changing the name, and that has a big impact, yeah, on
Yeah,
your destiny,
massive
right?
impact. It's like you're reprogramming your life basically. But
Mm.
it doesn't mean you can avoid dealing with the issues in the birth name. And
No.
you still have to
Okay,
deal with all
okay.
the issues, but it helps you deal with them better and overcome them, and then build on top of that with a new name, which creates the real spiritual mission. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So there's a lot of power in this process. I'll put a link for name optimization in the YouTube description of the video.
Thank you.
So basically, we take these numbers here, and we let's get the invisible pen out, which I discovered today. We take these numbers here, we allocate them in a clockwise expanding spiral around the Star of David till we use them all up. All right, and that's lovely the way it does that. And then what we do is we add them up. So here we go 19 plus 1 equals 20. And we have to have a number between 1 and 22 here. So we go the first number 20 here for Karishma's physical karma. Actually, I'll change pens. Yeah. It's 20. And 2 is the other one. When we get the 2, we're going 2 plus 0 equals 2. So this is 20 here, and this is the 2, and there's a blend at any given time, Karishma, on physical karma. Your some blend of the 20 and the 2. It's like hot and cold taps in the shower. Okay, so you're going to experience all of these. Okay, all of these here throughout your lifetime. It's called a combination number. In the case of spiritual karma, 1 plus 3 equals 4. 4 plus nothing gives another 4. So we get what's called a double number. It's only one frequency. It doesn't have the same range of frequencies as this. So that's why this part of your life in spiritual karma is more narrow. So we work out all the other numbers accordingly. Say, for example, physical goals, the total here is 43. There's no channeled interpretations that came from the soul of Moses through Frank Alper, the founder of this work. So we have to reduce it to first number between 1 and 22. So 4 plus 3 equals 7. 7 plus nothing is another 7. So it's a double number. So what does it mean? Okay, so what we do is that we take the physical numbers, place them on the top half of this table, spiritual numbers, the bottom half, add them up to get these two totals, 75 and 30. So 7 plus 5 is 12. To get the first number between 1 and 22, 3 plus 0 is 3. So 12, 3 goes in the middle. It's the soul destiny. And the 7 here means because there's 4 or more of the same number. In this case, is 5 sevens, but nothing else has more than 4 or more of the same number. That becomes a dominant vibration. And there are channelings from God, which came to the system, that actually give you an overall theme of your life. So these symbols here channeled by Frank, and they tell me something specific. They're channeling your energies, Karishma. Okay. So I'm going to read. So I'm reading the soul here. So what's your main question about your life, Karishma? I'm going to give you a brief reading now, so you get to see what this is about. What's your biggest question you have about your life? We'll give you a brief 10, 15-minute reading.
I would love to know about my career.
Okay, so what are you doing at the moment with a self-love, as a self-love expert, empowering woman? What are you?
I'm a self-love coach. I help women with self-confidence, self-esteem, setting boundaries, etc. But I am not at that level where I would like to be in my career.
Okay, so looking at this chart here, you are here really, this 3 is a teacher. Okay. Right, you are here with this internal canal to pull a big plug of unworthiness out of here. Because this isn't soul destiny. So something you're here to achieve. It feels like karma initially. You're here to peel out all the unworthiness to be loved that you experienced as a kid. Okay? In order to access the wealth of soul knowledge inside you as a teacher. And to also allow self-love to come in as well. All right? So you need to become what you teach. So we tend to teach or give sessions as light workers, if we're practitioners, what we're here to learn ourselves. Okay.
I can relate to that here.
We're expert at
I know
going.
I needed to learn self-love myself.
Yeah. So it can't just be an idea. You have to be what you want to teach eventually. All right. And that takes time. That could take a whole lifetime. But you're definitely here to teach. It's quite clear here. All right. And you're here to absorb and expand lots of knowledge, take it to a higher form. Okay. Absorb and expand this knowledge, bring it in, expand it, then make it move out into the world as a teacher. So do you read lots of books and watch lots of videos and things all at once to grow your body of knowledge?
Yes.
Yeah. And the physical karma is saying that you're here to break out of rigid belief systems and to move into a more spiritually based way of looking at life. So has that happened?
Yes, that has happened.
Yeah.
And
What happened there? What was the before state, before you became more spiritual? Because you were in the corporate world then.
it was breaking through of my money limiting beliefs of the limiting beliefs that I got from my parents, that work a job, stay in a safe, secure job, that rigid belief I have to break, separate from my parents and my family, basically, because I'm the only entrepreneur in my family.
Yeah.
And my family they probably don't understand what I'm doing, but they are they have accepted that I just don't want to work a job. So they are kind of fine with it, but they don't understand what I'm doing. And I have to separate from that rigid beliefs of that I need to work a job to earn money.
Yeah. Okay. So it's about breaking through the rigid beliefs, breaking through internal conflict from past lives to reach a place of peace and go and explore the world. Okay. Where's your family? Where are they? Are they in Australia or are they in India?
They are in India.
Yeah, so this 20 got you to Australia, I'd say, to go and explore things. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so probably more movement for you as well. Okay. And the 2 is about learning emotional resiliency and wisdom. Okay. And the 21 is about becoming very strong. It's the divine mother energy to overcome big challenges in life. Have you had that? Do you have the ability to overcome big challenges?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What's the biggest challenge you've had to overcome?
I have been through a period where because I lost my job and I didn't have an income, so I have been through a period where I was on the verge of losing my home and becoming homeless, not having a roof over my head, and fortunately that didn't happen, but I did had a period where I didn't had food to eat, so for days I went without eating.
Okay, that's pretty challenging. Have you got stronger as a result of that?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's got to make you strong so you can go out in the world as this teacher, teaching about self-love. Okay. All right. So in physical goals, you got a 7. And the 7 is about overcoming heartbreak in childhood. You got 2 of them, in physical goals and spiritual goals. And the inner child goes and hides away because she feels bad and terrified she'll get rejected again if people see her. So she puts out a mask, a facade here to say, everyone look at me here, but don't look at me here. So the key to success for your business is to drop the facade, work on healing your inner child so she shows her true self, true feelings and thoughts, and then the soul's magnetism will draw to you networks of people for your business, which is obviously very important when you're a spiritual entrepreneur. Then people will come. So you've got to be your real self, be authentic,
Okay.
be vulnerable. And then that, when you open your heart and be your real self, everyone around you has to raise their frequency to do the same or leave the space. Because when you speak from the heart and express from it, it's very, very powerful. So you've got 2 of them here. And in spiritual karma, you've got a 4, and the 4 is about learning. This is where there wasn't enough love for you as a kid, not enough flow of flow of nature. Did that happen? There just wasn't enough love coming?
As a kid,
Yeah.
no, unfortunately not.
So you did get enough love or you didn't get enough love as a kid?
I didn't get enough love as a kid.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. So this is the feeling in the ego. There's never going to be enough. And so this is what also causes financial challenges. So it's about learning to be worthy to receive the flow of God's abundance or nature's abundance, which is love, money, ideas, and then taking these and duplicating them to create this flow here. It's about sharing what you learn, what comes to you, duplicating and sharing it. Okay, so this is duplicating in your case, knowledge especially, but also helping money come as well. All right. And spiritual talents, you've got a 16, which is a really interesting number. 16 is the symbol here of bringing high-level spiritual concepts down to the earth plane, expressing them with an open heart in plain English to people. So you're bridging the high-level concepts to the man and a woman in the street. In your case, woman in the street, so they can grasp what you're on about. Then they will come. Okay. And overall, if you work on all 6 outer aspects, this will help you build your body of knowledge and become that teacher. Okay. And to make a difference in the world. Does that help?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Any questions, you other guys, Murray or Gabriel, about that? Okay. Thanks.
No, that was just unbelievably similar though to some of the things I go through. So could I ask how you go from those numbers into such specific details?
It just comes from doing this work for 34 years, Gabriel, because when you do this work, you become the work. Okay, it's not about remembering it. It's just when we train practitioners, they become the work. We spend and I've been in the work for 34 years. You become the work. You just know it. Like you spend 3 days in the training, receiving a transmission from the sharing of everyone else in the class of all the 22 different numbers. So you emotionally feel and receive that transmission. What is it like for these numbers in different positions?
Wow. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I've become it from just doing it for so long. That's what you're hearing
It's
here.
like being a conduit.
Yeah, and you have a whole guidance team, which is guiding us, guiding me as a practitioner, which is connected to Karishma's higher self, to say exactly what Karishma needs. Because Karishma asked the question of the universe, and the universe is coming through me. My higher self and my higher self had a meeting upstairs, and it's coming through me. What I need to say, I have no idea what I'm going to say to her, but it's saying it within the structure of the system. So
Okay. Yep.
I'm an embodiment of a whole high dimensional team, which is helping Karishma answer that question, because there's always an answer if you ask a question in the universe. And this is how it's being delivered. So Karishma knows. You got a better idea what to do now, don't you, Karishma?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's how it's happening, Gabriel. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the reading. It was so accurate.
And so what we do in the training is that we do that for 3 days. But you sit in the field of the transmission. It's very powerful. In the last 2 days, we teach you how to hold space like I'm doing now, how to give and receive readings. Okay. And it's more about how to open your channel and trust it, and trust the guidance team you have, the soul contract guidance team are going to deliver this. Okay, so it's more about relaxing and opening to the universe, this work. Becoming, opening, relaxing, then the work flows. Okay, in the now moment. That's how this works. Okay. So it's not about learning more. Okay. If you read the book, it's not about learning more, it's about becoming it. Okay. Much more about becoming it, making a shift from the left to the right brain, trusting the feminine flow, and then it turns up. Okay. So, right. Murray, your turn. You ready?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't take apostrophes or anything, the system. So I'm just going to type it in.
So I can't see there, Nicholas, is I changed from Mary with an E to Mary without an E. That was the only change.
Okay.
So phonetic same.
Do you have a middle name?
Antoinette.
How do I spell that?
Antoinette.
Is that right there?
Oh, O'Connell. Connell.
Is the Antoinette correct?
I can't see.
Antoinette.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct.
Yeah.
That's it.
And when you were younger, did you just go as Marie with an E, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. I won't put your birthday in for data protection purposes.
Okay.
What's your star sign?
Virgo.
Okay. All right. And you're okay for me to analyze this. Okay. 15. Increase this. Okay. So we're going to do a different chart here. We're going to do an overlay chart. Okay.
Okay.
We're going to line up those two names. And we'll also line up the also going to line up when you were younger, did you just use Marie O'Connell?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so we'll do that as well. So that's common name from birth.
Yeah.
We're going to take it to another level. This is like level 2 work here. Okay, I'm just going to do this. Okay, up to what age did you use that?
Maybe about, so I'm 51 now. I'd say to about 47.
Okay. And we'll delete that one. Don't need the second one. Okay. So, yeah, so we're going to look at it differently here. We're going to look at them in columns now because we've got multiple names. Okay.
Okay.
So you can think of, this is what we teach in level 2 about relationships and name overlays. This is like a cake of ice, a cake of your life that always will be there. It's who you always will be. Okay. It's creating your life. All right. And then this name, for the first 47 years of your life, is a common name from birth. This is like a layer of icing on the cake that infuses frequencies into here. Okay. From the physical karmic energies in Marie O'Connell, common name from birth, into the birth name, infuses them across, and same with each other position here. Okay. And this name here is like another layer of icing. I'll draw it in a different color. Now, this is a blue icing feeding across. And the energies feeding across help you grow and change in different ways. Okay.
Okay.
So what's the main question you have about your life? And we'll see if we can extract it out of here with a very brief reading.
It's about career really as well, and so I've changed. I'm now a therapist.
Yeah.
And about where I'd like to work in what areas. So I'm drawn to work with women and with the dying. I'm just wondering, is that something that's...
Yeah, it's right in here. And what did you used to do before you became a therapist?
I was an accountant.
Okay, it's a big change. Okay.
Yeah.
So this name here is about you learning to be a pioneer in speaking the truth despite past life persecution, being a real powerhouse in life with this nine. And this is about being in business. This is about being very creative or very grounded and focused, learning to focus, but having lots of creative ideas. But what you really are here to do is to build a body of knowledge or spiritual knowledge and support people in sharing that knowledge. But this has life and death to life in here, which is why you want to work with the dying.
Okay.
To learn that from death comes new life, either spiritually, or it could be the death of relationships or people around you. It could be the change of who you are. Okay. Have you had a lot of people die around you or had near-death experiences?
Yeah, I have. I grew up in a nursing home, so there was a lot of it, and I have had a lot in later life too. Yeah.
Yeah. So every time that happens, the structure shatters. And what happens is it rebuilds in different forms. So there are many versions of you, Marie. And then it shatters again. So your path is about shattering an old life and building new lives. So by the end of a lifetime, you've completely changed. And be okay in the chaos of that shattering. Because it will eventually settle. All the pieces will build into, so this life shattered here, they'll build into the new Marie. Okay.
Yeah.
So go on.
That resonates. That resonates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're on the right track. Okay. We're not very prepared in the West for dying because we're very superficially focused on youth and money and excitement and nothing of any great depth. And the birth process and the death process we're not really educated on that at all, unfortunately. We've lost contact with the sort of primal nature of that. So helping people transition, helping people deal with that is very important in terms of bringing consciousness to that process. And what was the last thing you wanted to do? Was looking after others in some form as well, or was it children? I can't remember.
No, it's working with women, as in
Working with women. Okay. So working with women here, this is the divine feminine. So this is saying resolving issue. What was the issue with your mother? Saying there's an issue with your mother who represents a disconnect from the divine feminine aspect of God.
Well, I guess at the moment she has dementia and I've been caring for her, so that might be it. But
yeah,
there would be, I would have had a lot of ancestral healing in that line as well.
Yeah. So you become the mother of your mother.
Yeah. Yes.
For a while, and the idea of that is to reconnect to the disconnect in the ego from the feminine aspect of God. Okay, which is why you would probably have a challenging time with her at times. But yeah, you're here to do women's work. As you resolve that and connect to the divine feminine, you're here to initiate woman, be a shaman with woman, wise woman, all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Definitely on the right path there. As a teacher, absorbing and expanding knowledge, just like Karishma did. Okay. So here is a pioneering, empowering teacher, helping people with life and death and helping women. And this name you had here, this 9's up here, this is to catalyze you to speak the truth, work with groups of people, share, use spiritual energy to serve others, take on big projects. Okay. Create all these networks. This is all about creating networks of people. This name is going to help. If you have an urge to create a center of some sort, this is creating a spiritual or digital center, people to meet, to learn, come in here, the space created by spiritual energies in the physical, to learn about and achieve their goals.
Okay.
How does that sound as an idea?
Well, it sounds terrifying right now, actually.
Well,
but it sounds something I would definitely be open to. Yeah, I'm the holding space. I'm always about holding space for others.
this is the
So
space holding here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And this is about taking on a big project here and here, working with groups. And you're going to have to try some things on to find out, trial and error to find out what works for you. Try it on, you feel restless, it's not right. You learn something though, move on to the next thing, then the next thing. And eventually you'll get to the journey of where it is you're meant to be in life. You can't go from here to here. You need to follow the path of direct experience and feeling it out. So invest enough time, energy, and money, but with an exit strategy, knowing now you know this. Okay, I'm learning what I need to learn from this. I'm restless now, but this looks more interesting, and keep going till you reach the point of being settled. Ah, there it is, which may be part of the answer you're getting now. Life and death and working with women.
yeah,
Gabriel,
it is.
I will, this will be uploaded on YouTube and I'll be sending you the video later, okay?
Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So, and you're here to do it in plain English, just like Karishma, okay? As a pioneer. So work on the cutting edge. I could see you on the hill of Tara in sort of shaman or pagan robes with a big staff doing your thing. Does that sound familiar?
Yes, it does. Yeah,
That'll be you, okay?
yeah.
All right. So, did that help?
That is, yeah. It's wonderful. Thank you, because it was all intuitive in the change, but it just felt it was needed. So, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, it sounds like that's in alignment with you, and well, you fives, you're very intuitive here. You see, these fives are highly intuitive, so you just got to keep listening to yourself and trust it, and it'll work out. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing that. Right, we're about time. Thanks, guys, Krishma and Murray, for that. Any questions, anyone, before I round up? Got a few more things to say. You have to unmute if you do have a question. So you may not.
Just Nicholas, just on the symbols.
Yes.
Can you work with the symbols on their own?
Yes, you can. I'm very visual. I'm an artist. So with symbols, what I'm doing with this is I'm just looking at the symbols and the energy is talking to me. Your energy is talking to me when I look at the symbols, because I don't know what I'm going to say next with it. So if you're very visual, then it's a very powerful way to work, because it's your energy, these three names, is coming to me. And then I'm getting to the story channels through me of what I need to say to you in this moment. And if we did this a couple of weeks in the future, I'd say something different, because you'll be in a different place.
Okay. And if for us, if there's something that we're trying to work with in part of this chart, could we work with that symbol by kind of?
Yes, you can. Yeah. Yeah. What happens is the soul chooses to emphasize certain aspects, okay, depending on where you are in life. So you might spend a few weeks or months on an aspect as a primary one sort of in your face, then you move on to another one. As part of the evolution, that sort of works its way through all the different numbers, symbols, or energies of the chart throughout life.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So just to round up, if you're interested in learning this work to help your students or clients, here's what it can do, just so you know you can understand the power of it. What you can do is this. As a therapist, coach, consultant, or teacher, facilitator, this gives you the spiritual map of life of your clients' lives. Because a lot of time we spend ages trying to discover what's going on. This cuts through all that and gives you an immediate and profound understanding of your clients' issues. So you can guide them throughout your one-on-one work or group work with them. And it builds a lot of trust, and it produces much faster results, because basically your client and you are focusing on 80% of the effort, teaching or therapeutic effort on 20% of things that actually matter, that, as I said before, presenting in the moment, and you can see what's causing the different programs. Okay. So the training, if you're interested, what it does is it give you a structure to understand yourself and everyone else in your life. And you learn how to prepare and give readings. And you learn with with this work, just like I did just now, and learn how your channel works and how to develop it. Okay. So this is a reminder of what we're doing. I said earlier, it's experiential learning through complete immersions of your classmates' charts and yours. So you're receiving a profound bodily transmission to awaken your DNA. So it's not about learning, it's about awakening. And we support you even after the training. We have a peer-to-peer practitioner support group, Zoom support programs. Like there are the 5-day training we run on Zoom is like a part 1 of the training where you get to sit in our lovely 5th dimensional bubble. We transmit to you and you become it. Then you need to take it out in the world. So this is part 1. You take it out into the world to part 2, which is a support program, which runs for 5 to 6 months. Every 5 or 6 weeks, you come along with all the discoveries you've made and questions you have from delivering readings to clients, because most of the practitioners can deliver pretty good readings after the training with a bit of practice. And the optional paid part 2 support program basically supports you in integrating into your practice, where you have all the practical questions. Well, what do I do here to prepare this? How do I market it? How do I deliver it? How do I deal with difficult clients? So basically, we support you to going from this 5th dimensional bubble out into the 3D world, and how do you actually integrate it into your business? Okay. And we also have another follow-on training. We can even do it now, where it's designed for our practitioners, divine healing and soul contract practitioners, called Marketing Manifesting Your Business. We help you guys make the shift from the 3D corporate type mindset that we're all getting infected with into the 5th dimensional love-based spiritual mindset for delivering service first before money, where we follow the spiritual principles of how do you follow the spiritual signature to actually run your spiritual business, and let what we call the visionary template, which is the plan, the divine plan your higher self put in place. How do you tap into that? How do you ground it? How do you turn it into your business? So it's running a business by going with the flow of spirit rather than running it from a business plan, which doesn't work in these businesses. And so you can take all that hard-earned training and turn it actually into a business, which actually is going to pay the bills. So we share how we do this in the Center for Conscious Ascension, how we built this business. And I have a team who built coaching programs to hold the space for you to transition. It takes about 18 to 24 months. But the Marketing Manifesting Your Business is an introduction to the 5th dimensional landscape of what matters. So you at least know what you need to look for, and what you find out what's missing, and how to build your awareness of what you need to do to create a business out of it, or develop your existing business further. Okay, so it's very powerful. So delivering readings.
Could I jump in there for a quick second? Sorry.
Yeah.
And just ask then, what do you think would be, for someone who's only done Divine Healing Master Key Level 1, what would be the most important next course for me to do?
Well, I think if you can match it up with soul contract reading, that's a very powerful combination. That's what most of the practitioners do. Because what you do is you deliver soul contract reading first. So you say, here's the map of your life. Here's where you are. And we teach you how to give recommendations. Here's where you need to go next to actually unpick yourself from wherever you're stuck or whatever you're faced with, challenge-wise. And then people go, yeah, that's all true, because they get this, it feeds into this here. So they get this deep feeling of peace. They heard the truth. They know, they go, well, that's all true. No more lies from my ego. Okay, so when they feel a feeling of relief, there's actually order to it. Those who really feel like victims or disempowered, they can take charge. And then what happens is that you're doing this. You're showing them where they are on their spiritual map of life, giving them laser-focused recommendations on what they can do based upon your therapies and what we've learned over 60+ years of doing this, aligning them to their life purpose. Okay? And then what happens is that you bring your divine healing in here for the issues which are in the contract on a repeated basis. So it creates repeat business. Because you have the map and they know it's true and you know it's true, they can say, okay, Gabriel, let's get on with it. I've got my unworthiness coming up. I want to clear that. The next day, I've got trust issues. And before they know it, they're starting to make progress. Things are starting to move because the contract is shown you what's presenting. So there's no guesswork here. So it creates repeat business because they're only going to come to you because you know what's going on. You've got a very powerful tool with divine healing. So it's basically the spiritual sat nav that guides them and guides you in their work together. So the two go together very well, very powerful.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a bit less random then, isn't it? It's much more specific.
There's nothing random about the process at all. It's like, okay, now we have we have our consciousness switched on. We can see what's going on. Now we can get on with it. Okay, it cuts all that out. It saves a lot of time. Okay, and clients obviously are much happier because they know it's all true and they say, okay, let's just do it, Gabriel. Okay,
Yeah.
they're happier, you're happier, and they tell other people about it, and your business builds.
You
Okay, it's
can
very
build that trust, like you said, and then continue with the divine healing.
Yeah. Right. So that's the lead offering most of the guys do is soul contract, because you got to find out what's going on and where they are. Okay. Because if you don't know where that is, you can't make much progress. You're just picking at the edges. Okay.
Yeah.
And it dissolves a lot of the ego programming that's resisting what's going on. Because once you show the truth, that layer of defense dissolves. You can get in there much more with divine healing.
Beautiful. Okay. So that'll be my next course.
Yeah. So it really touches their inner being deeply, builds a lot of trust, and also opens you to a deeper level of yourself. I still do readings 34 years later, and it's really powerful. Okay, so I think it was just a summary of what we said. You're preparing deliver readings in the group on the last 2 days after the initial 3-day transmission. You got to practice, but most of the guys give pretty good practice readings. Okay. So any other questions? We're nearly finished. Any other questions about anything we've covered today?
My only thing, and I'm so sorry because I feel this is very selfish and I know there's no time, but if there was one sentence that you could conjure it to me, what would that be right now?
Well, follow the spiritual signature. Follow what opens your heart. Okay,
Beautiful. Thank you.
follow what opens your heart. So
Thank you.
that'll guide you. The mind can't work this stuff out. It's actually in the way
Yes.
of what you should be. What you're sort of asking, well, what do I do now? Just follow your heart. What is your heart open to the most? Okay, if you have a choice of things to do, you try them on in your heart. The one that opens you most is your soul telling you what the spiritual signature, what you want to do. And you follow and trust that, things start to unfold. Okay. All right. So
makes perfect sense. Thank you.
if you guys want to learn this, we have because this is an Asia Pacific webinar. We have, well, actually, I'll show you this is the normal Western Hemisphere one. It runs from 12:30 to 8:30 p.m. UK time, but that'll be starting about 9:30, 10 o'clock in Australian time. And it starts at 7:30 Eastern time for North Americans, 4:30 a.m. Pacific time. So normally we cover from California out to the Eastern Bloc. And the full fee is £718, about $900. And the deposit, which is included within that, is £277 or $350. You can find out more at soulcontractreadingtraining.com. But seeing we are focusing on Asia now, Asia Pacific, we have a much more civilized time. I get up early in the morning. I get up at 6 in the morning here. I get up early anyway. And so where are you, Gabriel? Which state?
Queensland.
So Queensland, it's a very civilized 3 to 11 p.m. if you want to learn this.
Lovely.
Okay. And so
when I did the divine healing, it was like 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. or something. So
yeah,
that's way better.
Yeah, we make it more friendly because the Asia Pacific market's opening up. People want this. Okay.
Amazing.
Okay. Karishma, where are you?
Queensland too.
Okay, so it's 3 to 11 p.m. for you. Okay. And if you're an early starter like Murray, if you're interested, if you're an early starter, we discovered people in Europe didn't mind getting up early at 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. When we first started, we had more people from Europe coming because they were early starters. But now people are coming from the Middle East, India, Malaysia, Hong Kong, New Zealand. See, they'll come to a training at this level. And so it's the same price. It's on Zoom. It's over this is split as well. This is the 3 days one weekend, 2 days the second weekend. So you've got to break in between to integrate between the transmission and the actual practice. Okay, so it's the Asia Pacific stream. We do the same. We do the same for the Western Hemisphere training. So California Mars special, because they said, I don't get much time off work. Can you put it on the weekends? And then we can come, and they do. So there's 3 days here in March, transmission of the numbers, 2 days the following weekend. It's easier on them, and also childcare is easier as well, because it's got a husband or a partner. That's why we do that. Okay, guys. So any final questions? So if you're interested in coming.
I am checking on that soul contract reading training right now. So there is 2-3 levels. So this one is level 3, is it? Level 1.
This is level 1. Okay, so there are 3 levels. So level 1 I've been describing as 5 days to give a good birth reading chart. Level 2 is 4 days, and the next one runs in about June or July. That's where we teach you relationship dynamics. Just like I showed you with Marie, we teach you all the effects of different names you've had over time. And then we also look at all your relationships in terms of family and love relationships. So you can see the whole constellation of hidden energy interactions which create people's dynamics, which is what they'll come to you when if you learn level 1, they'll say, okay, Karishma, explain my family because it's hell. Don't understand. I get these wastrel boyfriends or girlfriends, wastrel boyfriends in your case, or husbands. What do I do? What's creating it? So you can answer all that with level 2. And level 3 is business readings. And the third transmission is 3 transmissions to complete the process, but you can still give good readings from just level 1 and level 1 plus 2. And so the business one is, how do you get the optimal business names that are going to attract with grace and ease your niche market segment people without having to spend a fortune on marketing. So you have the optimal legal names, trading names, website names, product and service names. Like you can get a 50 to 60% open rate on your emails by having the optimal email header compared to 20 or 30% or 5 or 10%, which is what people normally get. So you actually bring the right people with less effort. Okay. And what usually happens on level 3 is that practitioners come and we design all the names for their businesses or restructure them if they haven't got a business. So they can go out and have optimally built their energy of their business and not have to spend a fortune on marketing. So it's called fire and forget marketing. It's where the energies of the names which are optimal, which need to be aligned to your energies, your personal soul contract energies, the names you've used through time, the themes. We saw common themes with Marie's name. That can extend to names of a business. So the business becomes an external holographic expression of your personal soul journey. And if you align with that, it'll work. Obviously, you've got to run it properly, but if you don't align with it, it won't work. So basically, it's business with more grace and ease. That's what we teach. So you can do it on yourselves, and you can do it with your clients. I used to run a consulting business. We did it in the corporate world to those open to it. Basically, everything flows with spirit. That's the point of it. That's why we have multiple levels in there. Yeah. So we do like a level 1 now. Level 2 will be in June or July. Level 3 will be like around November or December. So you can cover, people want to cover it usually in a year if they want to do the whole lot. Or some people just do level 1 and level 2. Depends what you want. Okay. Does that help?
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? We're sort of got over time now, but we'll stay until you've got your questions answered.
No, just I'll see you in April. Or will you be running it or someone else?
I'll be leading it, but we'll have Lauren Calvert, who's our trainee teacher. She's in Sydney. She'll be teaching it as well. So the Asia Pacific one. So if you have any questions, you can email me. There's a payment plan there, Gabriel. You can pay in 3. Okay.
Oh, that's what I forgot to ask. That's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. So what you do is that you just select PayPal checkout. It should default to that PayPal checkout. Then you can pay in 3. And PayPal will just run a quick credit check, and then you're underway. Then you can get on.
Yeah, that's great. Because being in Australia, it like doubles the money. It's so annoying, but anyway, it's worth it. It's beyond worth it. I know that from the divine healing. So Yeah.
Yeah. What happens is that a lot of practitioners book in their clients before they even take the training. So they're all booked up. So once you finish the training, you just go and deliver your readings, and that pays for the training. Some of them have
Oh
it
my
paid,
God.
some of it have paid in two to 3 weeks. Some of them pay it off.
I
So,
don't know if I'd have the confidence to do that.
well, just an idea. This is what the entrepreneurial ones do, and so
Yeah, wow.
they don't look at it as a cost. They look at it as an investment in their business,
No, that's exactly how I see
which is
it.
what it
Yeah.
is. So you look at
Yeah.
how long is it going to take me to pay it off, and this is what these guys do in a month or a few months. They paid it off. Then they've got a massively
Yeah.
powerful tool which generates a lot more cash flow for them and reaches a lot more people. So that's
Yeah.
how they do it.
Oh, I have no question about that whatsoever. It's just because I'm a very low income earner at the moment. But these are the kind of things that will shift it, you know. I'm actually thinking of I'm in the process of starting to try and get out there and promote my divine healing master key level 1. Do you think that's fine to do without having the contract
Oh
reading
yeah,
training first?
if you just got divine healing, use what you've got. The main thing is give people a direct experience of it. Like run webinars and give them experience of it. Run group or physical groups. That's what a lot of the guys do. Okay.
Mhm.
And they basically give people charts where you don't need to go specifically into it, like mainland frequency program charts, interference, past lives. You can look at my webinars, look how I do them, copy one of those. That works. A lot of the guys do these. Some people have 100 people coming at a time. They do it every week. And out of those people
Wow.
webinars who have a really good experience, they then say, okay, I want a session with you now, Gabriel. And so you get business. Load the video on
Yeah.
YouTube like I do,
Okay.
and then it works. You see,
Mhm.
put it on your website. So main thing is to give them a direct experience of you. Okay.
Yeah, because this is what I'm wondering. And I know you have to go, but like what to aim for? Like, am I aiming more for like a niche demographic who's going to understand, or am I just kind of throwing out a wide net?
No, you need to be
Because that's
focused.
how I got into it in the first place.
You need to be focused on people who are open to this work. No point going to a
Yeah,
wide people who
yeah,
aren't
I
open
thought
to it.
so.
Otherwise, you get a lot of flack and they don't understand it.
Yeah,
So
because it's quite niche. Yeah, yeah.
focused niche marketing works a lot better because your
Okay, good.
manifestation energy is on a certain niche and they're going to hear you then.
Yep, great. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, anybody? No?
Just thank you. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
All right. Thanks for sharing your lives, Marie and Karishma, and especially on the charts. Really appreciate it. And we'll have the
Thank
video
you.
to you probably later in the week. Depends how things go.
Okay.
Maybe see you on a training at some stage. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
you.
guys.
Thank you, Krishna Murray, and thank you so much, Nicholas. Amazing that you do these webinars for free. Thank you.
Okay.
Because you've got me back into
Nicolas.
it. I'll see you in April.
Okay. All right.
Goodbye.
Karishma, you going to say something? No?
No.
Okay. All right. See you later. Thank you.